Hi there, this is Josh from Literary Gladiators, and today I'm here to talk about my TBR for October and what'll probably go into November. I thought I'd talk about what I have planned for my reading since we finished filming most of the 12th season of Literary Gladiators, and I'm all finished with the BookTube prize. I do have two more discussion videos that I have planned for Zoom, so those are going to be the next ones that I plan to, those books are going to be the next that I plan to read, which includes March Book 1, which is the graphic memoir of John Lewis. He was a figure in the civil rights movement. He marched with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and then he became a representative in the state of Georgia. This is illustrated with Andrew Aydin and Nate Powell. And then I'm also planning to read I'm also going to be reading Jimmy Corrigan, The Smartest Kid on Earth. This is by Chris Ware. And I will be reading this to prepare for a discussion in November. I will also be reading James Monroe, A Life by Tim McGrath. I'm going to start reading this at the end of the month. And I'll be reading this as a buddy read with Gretchen from Betwixt the Books. I'm very excited about that because Gretchen is an enthusiast for American presidential history, like myself. She just recently developed her interest. She was inspired after seeing and being a huge fan of Hamilton, the Broadway play. But she made mention to the fact that she was having challenges finding a proper biography of James Monroe, and I saw that this came out this year, this version, this biography written by Tim McGrath. It looks like it's a pretty hardy one, but ultimately it is only, it's 586 pages, because in biographies of this nature, they're you get a lot of notes, and there's a good scholar makes sure that they source where they got their information, and you have a lot of that in here. Another thing I'm looking to do is make my way through some literary magazines and other magazines that feature written works of fiction, poetry, things of that nature. I subscribe to 24 physical magazines, and I also printed out some works from magazines that are exclusively online. Things like the Normal School and the Pigeon Pages. I know the Normal School used to sell print magazines. Now they just release their fiction, poetry, and other written works on their website. But I do like to print them out. I like to actually hold a copy, a physical copy of what it is that I'm reading. But some of the magazines that I have on my nightstand right now include fantasy and science fiction from January and February of 2020. I actually read one of the stories in here. I think I'm gonna reread it, but I read Save, Salve, Shelter by Essa Hansen. I have Analog from September 2014. I have the Missouri Review, the most recent issue. I have the most recent Kenyon Review, September-October 2020. I have the most recent issue of Slice, which I was referring to this when I was reading Grief is a Thing That Wades. But this is the 25th issue from fall 2019, winter 2020. But Slice used to produce 2 magazines per year. This year they're only doing 1. But with everything going on, I'm not sure when that's going to be coming out. And the most recent issue of World Literature Today from autumn 2020. This is the city issue, and it's concentrating on San Juan, Puerto Rico. I was making my way through here, and it was quite fascinating, the various pieces that they have pertaining to San Juan, Puerto Rico. They have all forms of writing, be it essays, fiction, poetry, and then they have general works of each as well. So this is what my nightstand looks like right now. I'm really eager to make my way through that, and I definitely will have the 2 March and Jimmy Corrigan I'm going to be discussing, so that's where you will hear about my thoughts pertaining to those books. I will definitely be doing a review of James Monroe, A Life, and I'm hoping to incorporate the works that I read in literary magazines into future videos in some way, shape, or form. I put together a notebook where I plan to write some brief thoughts about each of them, and perhaps when it comes time to pick works for future seasons, I will be, I'll have a good list of choices. But I want to thank you for tuning into this TBR video. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel, give us a good old like, and if you really like us, please support us on our Patreon. For the money that we make will allow us to provide you with even more material. We really love doing it, and support from Patreon really helps us out. Thank you for tuning in, and for now, keep reading.